Hello everybody. This is another video in that series about self-directed IRAs, and I wanted to put up this graphic, right? This is a good one so you can screenshot it or whatever and see where people are investing. And the key part about this graphic is the type of investors that are going outside of their state to make an investment. So this information is provided by Equity Trust. They compiled data for 10 years, the last 10 years, and they just put out a report. So I'm giving you a few highlights on it. Not an advertisement necessarily for Equity Trust, but we do have clients with money there. And then they come and talk to us about doing a transaction. So this video or this graphic deals with properties purchased by non-residents and the purchase price that they were doing. So basically, if you looked at an investor, say in Illinois, where did they go with their money, or just at least outside of Illinois or outside Indiana or outside Florida, right? So our two markets, specifically, we're dealing with Indiana, and what we find is that 40% of the properties bought by non-residents, right? So this means that out of all the equity trust investors that are buying in Indiana, 40% of them are from outside of Indiana. So we've got a net inflow of a lot of money coming into Indiana. Same thing in Florida. Looks like 30% of the properties bought in Florida are from investors outside of the state of Florida. So just because you're in Indiana or just because you're in Florida or any other state, investors are bringing their money in from elsewhere and supporting the markets because they see the good investment value in these different locations. Indiana, they also listed the average price of an investment was $49,000. So they're buying medium value properties or lower value properties, $49,000. Florida, that number is $70,000. So the average price of a property, average price of a transaction is those values: $70,000 in Florida, $49,000 in Indiana. So very interesting information, and you can take a look at that graphic. You can contact Equity Trust, and they'll send you a full report, tell you a lot of other data that's important. We're going to have another video here in just a minute about note buyers, but I do want to give you one more graphic, right, to see what kind of properties these are made up of, right? So here's this graphic, and it has information about the kind of properties, and they put it in three categories: flipping properties, and here in the Midwest, that's about 16% of the transactions with Equity Trust were flipping properties. In the South, that was 19%. So that's the yellow part of this, right? The vast majority of investments are going into rental homes, right? Rental properties, and it's in the 60 to 70% basis. In the South, like in Florida, 60%, Midwest, 67%. So a lot of the properties are all being bought are investment properties, rentals. The other category, they called it bought and held. I'm not sure what that means. Other than rental properties, seems like it would be a buy and hold as well. But for whatever reason, Equity Trust is breaking that out as a buy and hold. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's land, maybe it's some other category that's not a rental property. So buy and hold 16 to 20%. That's it. Talk to you soon about some more note investing on the next video.